All right, here it is, man. Truth of the matter is, loud ass air conditioning in the background. By the way, a nigga was playing a lot of games. You see a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? And your boy was losing a lot, and I mean a lot, a lot. I don't even know what games I'm looking at here, but I wanted to look at some. I might go random, or I might just do these last three. They pretty long, I guess. I don't know. What am I thinking? Or should I do the longer ones like this one, maybe this one, I guess. Cause these ones was checkmates or complete just L moves, which I mean, you gonna see in both. You gonna see in the games anyway, cause I'm not a great player. So, anyway, with that being said, let's do this one. Let's do this one first. Now they got me reviewing. No, my accuracy wasn't the worst. I lost this game. Okay. All right. Well, I don't. I honestly don't remember this game. Which is like one thing in of itself is like I'm gonna just like kind of cycle through these moves. It's like crazy when you playing a game and you can just like completely zone and not think about what you're playing at all. Because at this point, I didn't think at all. Man's was just sitting here making moves, and this how I knew it. This right here, I was like, hold on, there's just no way I played this move. I literally just let him take my knight for freeskies. Like that's just a free knight, and I'm just down a whole piece now. And luckily for him or for me, um, he didn't really capitalize on that. Like he was quick to trade down, which is fine because we get this position. I'm still losing. Like even well, let's see. The eval bar has been in his favor this entire time. I'm still losing. But then he plays this, which was like a complete mistake. Even though I didn't even capitalize on it right, but it just this right here is just it didn't look at the threat. Like the threat was this knight and the skewer. He then ignores it, tries to attack the bishop to allow another skewer to where like one of these pieces is just gone. But I mean, he was fighting because whatever. Uh, it's life, so he tried his best, but then he blundered, and this was kind of the crux of the entire game. It was really just the crux of this game. Once he blundered on e5, yeah, I knew I had a chance. And it's crazy because I converted this in game so quickly. Literally, like 18 moves later, the in game converted. And it's simple. I mean, you just trade down. So, I mean, here, easily you trade. Actually, I lost this, didn't I? Oh, yeah, I lost this. I completely blew this game. Not because of this. Not because of this. Not because of this. But it's just crazy. Like I really just blended this game. I'm sorry if this game is all over the place because one I ain't been doing this for a minute, so it's like trying to get back into the like actual like flow of just like commentating over a game and like giving my thoughts on what I was doing. But I mean, it's just not much to say. Like, this was a good move, and here I'm actually still winning. If I just give a check, all I have to do, because this, and then just this, and there's no way you can save the knight. Like the king, like has to, you know what I mean? Which this is just mate in one, obviously, but or well, sand just G4. So G4, then you just take. This is mate, by the way. It's not mate. You still have this, um, but it's completely winning. But I didn't think so. Instead of just like trying to go for the simplification, I just completely blundered my rock. Wait, no, not yet. After this, yeah. But I mean, it's not completely because then you get this. But the reason it's a blunder of a rook is because this is a losing king and pawn endgame for black, and it's 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 absolutely the reason why I kept my rook on the board. Because otherwise, I would have traded off quicker. But I'm down to one pawn. It's 3-on-1. The only way I'm actually winning is if I somehow back rank him with this rook, or I can literally win this knight for free and clear off the rook, which is crazy because that would have been exactly what happened after this, and this, and this, and this. Knight would have been off the board. It would have just been rook and king versus king and pawn. Yeah.
What you want on your pizza?
Everything.
From Domino's.
Nah, just pepperoni.
Just pepperoni?
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye.
See you, man. Like I was saying, that's exactly what would have happened. And I completely blanked on the tactic and just got into a losing situation. This is losing. Like, even if, like, you, for one, they're the same speed. So this is gonna happen. And I'm glad I did this for the sake of instruction. But I mean, everybody, that's anybody, unless you live under a rock, but it's life, so I can't judge you. We all get familiar with the game at some point. But it's just not fast enough. The pawn is too fast. And the king is not gonna catch it. And yes, I resign. Actually, I resign. This game, I took my L in stride. I mean, this is losing. This is losing. I have one pawn. I have one hope. The hope is not even. It's blockaded. It's not a passer. He has a whole nother passer, and it's still just regardless of 2-0. And my king is nowhere in sight with the king staring it down, and it's in check. This is losing. If you've ever seen losing in chess before. But luckily for me, life goes on. So we have more games to show, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really sure if that's a good thing or a bad. I don't want to review. You know, I just realized how bad chess.com review is. But like, I might actually have to like go through that in the video in of itself, because it's actually pretty bad. It actually not necessarily suggest moves, right, that aren't optimal, but it'll definitely like just completely miss the dynamic, which I mean happens with these engines, but it's worse when you like go to the game review, like the chess.com game review. It doesn't think about what moves it's suggesting, but it's alright. It's life, so we all have to learn our own way and live with the consequences. This right here confused me though, because It says black is slightly better after queen d6, or is that no queen b6? I mean queen b6 is like a very just like lame move to play. For one, but it's a move. It's definitely a move that gets played. So, or no, it's saying queen d6. See, that's what's confused me because I don't know what queen d. Oh well, queen d6 is fair. Queen d6 is fair. Right, but then it's like, so are you really better? I don't understand how black would be better for that one, but it is what it is. The engine's worth what it's worth. But once I get out this opening, though, I'm actually feeling pretty good. Because even though I lost my dark square bishop, one, he just completely blundered that, which was the whole pawn, which we'll take. Um, and from here, I mean, it was pretty simple, but it wasn't because I ended up allowing the A pawn to get, well, the B pawn to get shoved all the way to the A file and the second rank. We exchange rooks, and then we exchange queens. And here, I'm actually not much better, which is a very important concept to understand because there's 41 other moves that has to 40 more years in paradise, except it's not because these pieces are literally fighting for their lives or trying to stay alive in the case of our sad little man on G1. I have to like it's not easy to find advantage, and I think I actually make some mistakes. You're right. I let this pawn go. I let another pawn go, and now I'm not even better. So now I'm sitting here panicking and hyperventilating. Luckily, there's no way to blunder back rank mate or nothing, but I'm second guessing myself. But I knew here he messed up. And this is one thing about the rooks that you have to be mindful of. That I'm struggling with too. I've got my rook tracked plenty of times. But this is not a good exchange. This is not a good exchange. If you are losing this pawn, like it'd be different. And I mean, I don't even have to necessarily take, but I kind of do. Um, Also, he blundered his bit. When did that happen? Actually, I don't know. This is a move. I don't know why I didn't mention this. I don't know what he was thinking with this. I have no clue what he like. That I don't know what he's seen after this in this position because it couldn't have just it couldn't have been e5. E5 is just not like there's no way he couldn't calculate past e5. So please don't ask because I don't have an answer for that one. But this right here is completely fine. Like, I'm completely fine with this because now I'm just up another pawn. Well, actually, I'm not up a pawn, but I've won a pawn. And even if you think you're getting there in time, you're just not. Now my bishop stops you from ever getting to the second rank. And now this is a target. So once your king walks back some, I could even do this. And this is what I did. You kind of just let like the you let the interactions of the pieces stay the same once you get to the end game. That's just how it is. Like the bishop, if you have a bishop, it's probably gonna stare at the same diagonal for the rest of the game. Once you get to the end game, once you get to like, if it's just pawns and the king, and you have a bishop, it's probably gonna stay on the same diagonal. You have a rook, it's probably gonna stay on the same file, the same rank. And if you have a queen, you have a queen, so you probably just win. And that was this is kind of just the game. Like the king is the only piece that can move, so it's just at this point don't stalemate, which is harder than you think because you can fuck around and not give the king any moves if you fuck around too much. So like here, it can't even move there. It can't even move forward. It can't move anywhere. It has to go here. Now here you could if you just like follow it or just you know. But like you can't stalemate. I've done it. We've seen it, and we've all cried about it because it's not fun. But yeah, I mean, you just make sure you give him a square. Just give him one square. Um, Sometimes he has more than one. Like he could have technically went here, but it is what it is. It doesn't really save the game at this point. And you win. Eventually, your pawn's gonna get through, and you eat the last pawn. You can promote to a second queen. Just don't hang your queen. Just know how to build the net. You know, it's just that simple. I know this is not like the most enthusiastic sounding, but like these are not the greatest players. They're real quick to get to like simple positions. And once you're in simple positions, it's more of a technical thing in the during the game. And I think did I lose this game? I hope I lost this game. I hope this is the game I lost, and this is the game I'm thinking of. Yeah, because this will blah, blah, blah. This will not encapsulate my point because I won this game. Okay, but here, right? I can still make this point because it's important, and y'all niggas gotta hear this point. But when you're in the end game, like right now, this says it's completely winning for white, and this is true throughout the entirety of the game in chess. Because it's life. But the eval bar, like between moves, it can skewer. So like, let's see. I said skewer, but like it can like it's an ebb and flow to it. Like it can go up, it can go down, and any moment, like it can be +9 to like -5 because you missed one tactic. The point of that is though is to say if you're not playing on like a certain set of lines in the game, you will just lose, right? So like in the eval bar, it speaks for itself when it comes to this topic because you see how there is an option for him to you see e5 would have kept him surviving for a little bit longer. It wouldn't have been mate in 3. I didn't find mate in 3 by the way. If you're wondering, I'm not that good. But I could have found that move. I actually was looking at that move when I was playing the game, if I'm being honest. But I was thinking, I'm not that smart. I'm gonna just simplify and then win all the pawns and all that good stuff. But yeah, if you don't play on the set of lines that you're looking for, Then, you know, you see I blundered a few things here, and it is what it is. But if you don't play on that set of lines, the eval bar is not gonna agree. So it went from maiden three, it was maiden three, but you know, the king move because I didn't find the moves on the line that it would have been maiden three. And a lot of these moves and games are is a part of theory. Like you always see this when you're on chess.com. You see what opening it is, and you can like look at the opening, and you can see how the game goes, and you can go through games databases and look at the games, and you will see these positions. And I always say this: these positions and these moves are in the game. The patterns are in the games, but you actually have to find it, and finding it comes with a level of calculation too. So like here, a move like Rook G4, and look, it the computer doesn't like it, but whatever. You know, well, actually, my advantage is the same, so I guess I was right. But a move like Rook G4 seems pointless, but not only does it allow me to like further round around this, even if it doesn't look like I'm rounding around it, but it also completely cuts off the G file, meaning the king can't get here. So you see the next move is H4 because I didn't calculate Rook G4 and like king moves or he plays B5. I calculated Rook G4. He plays, he does that, or he pushes the pawn, and or he may even try to get exotic with the rook. But I mean, it's not much you could do in this position. Um, but it doesn't matter because I pushed the pawn. So that's kind of like the beauty, though, is when you get to a point and you can say, hey, such and such idea. If I play on this set of lines, it can't be stopped. So here I went Rook G4 because me pushing this H pawn all the way up the board. After I went Rook G4, it literally could not be stopped unless he like sacked the rook, and then he would completely lose because he would just get ladder mated. I would even have to make a queen at that point. So now the game can now speak for itself because this is where it comes into play to not stalemate. This is why it's made in seven. Like it's because the king doesn't have much left. Meaning you see this right here, all of this, and he actually just completely like let himself go. Oh, I actually found it. I didn't know that, but yeah, um, it's the set of lines. It really is. It's just that simple. You find a set of lines that you can you can win on. You find patterns and ideas that you are comfortable with, and you just build from there. I mean, it's life, so you're not gonna have every tactic down perfectly. You're not gonna have the ideas completely. And you're not gonna completely understand the theory. Like it's that's a real thing too. That is a real that's it's a hurtful thing, kind of annoying, but it's a real thing when you don't understand the theory. And I mean, you can even be somebody who's, I don't know why I'm harboring on this point, but maybe there's something out there that's hearing me a little bit better than most. But anyways, um, I don't know why I just lost my train of thought. when you like you can even know the theory, right? And this is something that happens, like truthfully. Like you can ask other players if you're really that curious that are way better than me, and they'll tell you. There's been times where they've been at the board or they've been in a game and they was like, "Do I know this theory?" And they look up and probably to the left or right, or some people look down. However they get into that zone, that zen, that you know what I mean? And they don't know it. They literally don't know. They don't know the line. They literally are sitting there trying to remember the game, trying to piece together the moves and the move order and the right. Because if you do this right, like 48 moves for some players, 48 moves is still preparation. 48 moves is all, yes, I knew you was going to make this move. That's why I made this move. Like, at certain levels, they're just that good. Meaning, at certain levels, it's just all theory. You know what I mean? And you forget the theory. And you have to find your own line or idea that kind of works. And, more often than not, it aligns with some theoretical ideas. Because, I mean, it's life. This game's been around way too long. There's been way too many people that have played this game, understood this game, have taught this game, for it to not be pretty much solved. And I'm putting that in quotations because you can't really solve the game. You know, it's life. We have to think, but at the same time, you have to just trust what you got. It's hard. Trying to do a little bit of both is it's just not gonna it's not gonna work. So I mean, just I don't know, just trust in the lines that you play it with, and try not to get back ranked.